Hi everyone, Emma here. I have another leather bracelet to show you. This one's pretty simple, but you do need a few things. So you're going to need your, uh, I think they call these wire cutters or nippers. Anyway, this is what I use to cut my leather because you get a nice clean edge. But you could use scissors, that's fine. So you're going to need leather to start with. And this is leather from Exotica leather, and I'll post the link for that. You're going to need a button. I'm going to sneeze, I'm sorry. With a large hole. Let me enlarge just a bit and set the focus here. So you need something that your leather is going to go through. So something decorative. I love this button. It's one of my favorite. I think it's pewter button. And I got this from a shop on Etsy, but you could probably find it at some of the bead stores. And I just caught a little rough edge, so sometimes you might take your bead reamer and just, these are like edges of the metal that come from when they make them. So as long as it's, yeah. So this part of your bead reamer, you don't use that often unless you're reaming some pretty big holes. I always use just the tip. So this is an area that you can use it for. The other thing that I use my bead reamer for a lot, haven't been lately just because I haven't been doing many leather wrap bracelets recently, is to ream out the hole bigger. So if this hole is not big enough, take your bead reamer and get it in there and just work it a bit. You will be very happy. They work pretty quick, and I would do both sides. And you can make a small hole. Sometimes there's a bit of metal in there. You can clean that out. So you need your button. You're going to need 3 pieces of leather the length of your wrist or whatever the size bracelet you're making. And then I have these metal spacer beads. I got a bag of these. I can't remember, maybe 100 of them or so. And pretty cheap. This was on eBay like 10 years ago. So you can see they haven't tarnished at all. Now, they will tarnish once you start wearing it because of the moisture in your skin. But if you're concerned about that, you can either take clear nail polish to seal it, or if you have some vintage patina, you would most likely have the bottle of uh, varnish that you put on top of your patina. So you can patina these as well. You can make it look a little more antique-y if you want, and then add your finish, and that will prevent it from tarnishing. So you can use that with all of your findings, like your silver and gold findings. You can use that patina varnish, and then you know you're not going to get tarnishing. Then I have these lovely, I think I need to increase this a little here. These are crimp ends, and I got these at the beading room here in Canada. So you can see they show like they have little teeth there. There is actually a bit of an edge, so they will secure your leather, but I would recommend definitely putting some glue in here. So this, you need 2 of those, and you need a magnetic clasp and some jump rings. And I am going to use these crimp covers in a unique way, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure my button on the leather in the position that I want it with these guys. And It's not what they're for, but that's what I use them for, and it works out really good. So let's take a look. So I've got these cut already to 7-inch strands. So the first thing I'm going to do is one of these is actually just barely marked the midpoint, but I'm going to put my button on. So let me see if this side's. So I did cut, if you cut it on an angle, it goes through a little easier, but let's try this again. There. And, oh, I just love this button. So I think I'm gonna just do this to find my midpoint. Even though I marked it, I can't really see where I've marked it. So the other thing you can do if you don't want to put those crimp covers on is you could actually glue your button at this point. And well, I was going to say when you glue it, what it'll do is it'll prevent your button from doing this. So you have it on your wrist and it's going to go to the heaviest point, which is the bottom. But I think once the crimp tubes are on there, you don't get that rolling as much. So make sure I'm in the middle again. Okay, so I'm just going to, that moved. I know it moved. So we're going to grab our crimp tube and I'm going to place it on top till I get a good there like that. And use my crimper and make sure you lift it up and just be careful as you do this. And actually I think yeah, that should be fine. If you press too hard on this crimp cover, it will cut your leather, so be careful. I'm going to pull this out. The button shank is preventing me from closing it. So I don't know if that's gonna. Oh, it's not in, that's right. So just press it in. There. Stay in place. So. And you don't have to close it all the way because this is going to be hidden anyway. And it's actually, you're going to have it turned. And the leather looks pretty good, so I might just close that a little bit more. There. Like that. And then bring your button down. Now the next one's going to be a little bit sketch. It wouldn't be an Emma video if I didn't show you something complicated that's supposed to be easy, right? So let's see if we can get this in there in the right. Because now we got to work around the button shank. And let's see if we make sure that's nice and secure. Here, let's just do it this way. And press down on it. And trying to do this with my left hand. It's probably not a good idea. Get there. There. Okay. So let's just turn that. So now your button, yeah, so it's still spinning. I think we're gonna have to add some glue here. So let's do this here. And we're going to add some glue. I am going to use Crazy Glue for this just because it dries faster for the video, but definitely use your GS Hypo or your E6000. I highly recommend the E6000 on leather because it's soft, so it bends a little. Okay. Let's see if I can get this open. I am just having the worst time with glue caps these days. It's opening the bottom piece. Oh, yeah. You gotta be kidding me. I have some more somewhere. Let's get a fresh bottle. It's probably, I put the cap on while it was wet and it probably glued the cap shut. So annoying. It's super annoying since my hand surgery. It makes it harder too. So let's get this one going here. Oh, there must have been glue coming out of the other one. It's glued my fingers. Okay. So you don't need a lot, needless to say. It's try and get a drop in there. And I probably have a little too much Crazy Glue, so that's why it's taking a little longer to dry. So let's just hold that and see if we can get that button to sit properly. So you see how it's tarnishing the bead, so I wouldn't normally use Crazy Glue on this. It damages the leather. Okay, so let's get the others. We'll let that sit for a second. So I have 5 of these. Okay, so these, I think I was going to put another, I've got these crimp, I was going to put another crimp next to it so that when we add these, they'll be exposed. But I think it's close enough to the edge, so let's go ahead and just add these to either side. These are great because they fit the leather. So this is 2mm leather in case. You know what, I forget to tell people that it's 2mm because I only use 2mm, so I don't think of it, but I know a lot of people when they go to buy it, especially if they're new to using leather, they're not, you know, they wouldn't be able to tell that it's 2mm from this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, so that's what it's going to look like in the middle. But then we are going to add a piece of leather to the top and one to the bottom, like that. So actually, this side, I'm just going to take it off. So it's just going to fall off. So we'll attach the one side and then the other. Let's move these guys down a bit, and we're going to cut this little tail off to even it out. Like that. So you can put some glue in there too. I'm not going to put the glue in now because let me get my other. I think this will hold it, so for the sake of the video, like I said. So let me get these flat nose pliers are awesome for this kind of crimp end, and that way you won't damage anything. And I want those to sit together. There, make sure they're nice and tight. So yeah, that's not going anywhere. That's great. A bit of a, there. Okay, now we're going to add the beads onto this side. And 5 to that side. So make sure you position your pieces of leather in the right position. And I'm also going to check it because this one looks longer. Just so I'm going to do something like this. I kind of want it to go here. Making sure they're all, yeah, so that's why I thought these ones were quite a bit longer. So we'll just clip the ends off. And where's our little crimp end? So the other thing is, I just realized, oh, it's on both sides. I had some of these, the basket weave was on just the one side, so, but it's on both sides here, so it should be fine. Oh, there we go. Just squeeze down there, like that. So, if you don't want your beads rolling around on your wrist, I would consider doing the crimp on each side of the bead here. But I think we'll leave it. I think it's perfect the way it is. So now let's add the clasp so we can get rid of those things and get some jump rings. We're going to do, these are silver plated, and so are these crimp ends, the basket weave. Those are all from the beading room. I'm just checking, those crimp tubes look a little big for this, but we'll see. Just put that in like that, and we'll close that up. Perfect. Then grab the next one. Looking for the opening here. That. Take your clasp and down there, like that. And I don't know if I mentioned, but you could use chain here. So if you get to this point and either on purpose or by accident, you realize it's not long enough, you can always put chain in between your end and your closure. And close that up. That. The next one right here. And let's put that on. And then just like that. And there is your bracelet. So this is what it looks like. Let me see if I can get those beads at the front so you get an idea. And there is your bracelet. How easy is that? So you can imagine you have a bunch of variations you can do with this. It's so pretty. If anybody knows what flower that is, please let me know. I haven't got it. It's so beautiful. I just love it. It's got that country feel to it. Ta-da! So I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned. There's lots more videos to come. Take care.